that's the thing, and you can tell the young people that really are working hard for the Lord because at a young age they start being blessed in their ministry, and it's not because of your talents or somebody favors you. It's not about that, because I know people that are talented and favored, but there's something different about them that doesn't really create that fruit in the spirit that the Lord looks for us, that looks in us. So it's a sacrifice, because if you look at all these apostles and everybody in the Bible, they made huge sacrifices for the Lord, and that's how they were able to be blessed, and I think as a teenager, if you don't learn how to make sacrifices, then it's going to be really hard for you to make sacrifices when you're older, especially when you don't have a ministry and your life as a Christian is just showing up to church. Because I think everybody has their time in life. Everybody will have a time to serve in something, but sometimes you don't serve immediately when you turn 18, 19, 20 years old. Sometimes it'll take later on in life. And it's in those moments where a lot of people I feel like I'm doing nothing, and the sacrifice, you still have to make a personal sacrifice on a personal level. And that's where you start seeing great things happening in your life. And until you learn that, you'll never be able to see great things.
But you also have to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Because there's always something to do.
Yeah, there's always something to do.
Some people, it's just they only see the big ministries.
Yeah.
But it's
the little ones that really...
so they always need help cleaning the church. The kitchen always needs help. Like the children's ministries always need help. There's always something to do, but that's another thing that some people just want certain ministries.
And working in any ministry is great. Like, if one day I go to another church or become a pastor, or if I stay as pastor here, I've been able to work in Sunday school, youth, music, usher. I've done it all. So the one of the things that makes a great leader is the insight of that work, the insight of that job.
Yeah.
So I know the sacrifices you make as a musician, because I've been there. We were part of a band many years ago that we used to travel. We used to go places. We used to different musicians from different churches would get together and play. So we know that sacrifice. We've traveled, and so when I see you guys, I know exactly what y'all are going through. I know exactly what y'all had to do to be there. And I appreciate everything that you guys do, because I really know what it takes to be there. Like today, I saw your dad, and it reminded me of all the fathers they used to drop off their kids for band practice, because I remember when the PK band started, a lot of the PK band members now, they're old, but a lot of them were teenagers. It was just me and Arnold. We were the older ones.
I was just scared to drive over here by myself.
Yeah.
I know.
It gave me a flashback, of all these kids that we've seen grow in the kingdom. That, man, how God will take you to better levels, but everybody has to do something. You're not where you're at because on your own terms. Yes. That's the key.
And it's also not ever going to be easy. So I don't think it's a good thing to be like, I'm going to get here and it's going to be like to plan it out, because really it's on the Lord's time.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be easy. It's not.
Yeah, but you'll learn a lot depending on the people you surround yourself with. That's very important. Always look at people and become friends with people that you can see. And I would recommend somebody older, not your age.
Not just that, though, spiritual maturity.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really the what you want, because there's people that either don't want, not that they don't want they're not looking out for the best for you, but everything that they see is very outer, and they're not looking into the spiritual realms and stuff. So you always want to be around people that are not just gonna be like, oh, yeah, I'll pray for you or whatever. No, like they'll actually pray for you and are looking out for you, for your salvation, just for everything. Y también que te digan la verdad. Yes. Like if they see you doing something that's not correct, and that they can be like, hey, you know what, this and this and this and this. Constructive criticism. But if that's when you have to be careful, porque gente que they're like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
They're lying. So.
Yeah, that's what she mentioned right now. is a huge key that I battle with a lot of kids is being humble. And when you're not humble, man, it's tough. Because that's a bad reflection on you. Not on the person that is in front of you, but the person that you're dealing with. You know, and I had to learn that too. Being humble, like especially with my leaders, my superiors. When somebody tells me something, somebody asks me to do this, you know, sometimes do I agree or all the time? No, sometimes I don't. But I still have to humble myself and be submissive to the role that I'm in. And I think a lot of young people, they feel like they should be in different roles or better roles. But God has you in the role that you're in. And if you can't humble yourself and be submissive in that role, how are you going to be expected to be elevated? You know, so, and that's a tough one, you know, and those things you'll learn as you grow older. You'll learn that, you know, this is a long path. Yes. It is a very long path. And it's going to take, you know, if the Lord said that your whole life, it's a long path. So, I mean, just take it day by day, you know. If something doesn't happen immediately, it's all right. Keep moving. Keep searching, you know, and I think the desperation of a lot of young people nowadays is what's affecting their walk with God. They're so desperate to do something, be something, become something, and they don't see quick turnaround. But out in the world, they see a quick turnaround, you know, and they feel like, oh, that's where I need to be. But it's the way God operates. He operates from the inside out, not from the outside in. So, and until we learn that, you know, we're not going to be able to be. We're not going to have a sustainable walk with God. And that's what we want, every single one of us. It doesn't matter what ministry we have, it doesn't matter what we do, we want to have a sustainable walk with God. And you mentioned a lot of things in your testimony that, you know, that's really cool. Like just the fact that you said, like for example, you said you learn from somebody else and they're learning from you. You know, that's how we all learn. You know, like today I learned something from you. Every day I learn. I don't know nothing about media, so every day I gotta learn from him. I don't tell him that. I want his head to get big, you know. Now, but it's that. No, we all learn from each other because there's always a point of view that somebody's gonna bring that's gonna like, man, that's cool. Wow, that's different, you know. And honestly, like what you said, I appreciate you saying that. That I didn't feel like singing today.
Yeah.
A lot of people are scared to say that.
That's why I went back to that.
Yeah,
because
a lot of people are scared of saying that.
They feel
you
like
know
that's
that, right?
incorrect.
Because they feel like, oh, well, because the main thing is,
say that.
You shouldn't say that because you're doing it for the Lord. But there's days you're like, man, I barely want to go to church.
Yeah. That's what I like what she said. If you're not being genuine about it, because especially music, you're the one connecting, you know, the spirit with the people.
And let's be honest, it feels good to be up there. It feels good to praise the Lord up there. Yeah, and that's, you know, that's where it could become dangerous. It could become.
But we've all heard when sometimes people are like, man, the spirit was heavy. You know, yes. and like, man, God, you know, something's going on where somebody up there, something's happening. You know, and just, you can't just show face or fake it till you make it. That's not how that works. So that's why I wanted to go back to that, because I think a lot of people don't say it because they think you're not supposed to say that. Or
somebody will look down upon you like, oh, so, but it's not, it's your heart, really. Your body can tell you, you know, I can't, but your heart, if you get up there and your body's like, oh, but you still, your heart, if it's like in the right place, God is going to use you, you know. And honestly, I've done it before many times where, man, I feel so tired, you know, and I got to lead, you know. But by the time I get off out of that, whatever I had in my heart or in my body, I don't feel it no more. It's like I'm re-energized, and that's what the presence of God does. You know, it re-energizes you.
But also the receiving part. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes they forget that you need to receive also in order to give. Mm-hmm. A lot of people forget that part. Yeah.
I think another small but also really big thing that I also had to learn is that anytime that you're not ministering, your place should be at the front. You should be at the altar, you know. The chair, your bed. No, my parents told me that too. You know, you're not ministering, you need to be at that altar. You need to be praying.
Yeah.
It's just you don't just praise the Lord. You don't just pray, or you don't just go up there when it's time for you to sing.
It's just for
I think that's a really important lesson that I have to learn as well.